Hey, what's going on? It's Pete Moriarty here. Great to be here with you. But what we're covering today is the latest updates in Google Workspace. And Google have this great blog, which is the Workspace Updates blog, and it basically gives you a spot with all of the updates in one place, which is really useful. However, there's just so many updates in there and there's so much detail. Even myself, I find myself not really paying attention to it, but certainly for our customers who are, if you are a busy business owner running your team, running your company, you're probably not going to have heaps of time to kind of browse through this. And so I'm going to try and distill it down as much as possible. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Pete Moriarty. We are a small business consultancy and we help entrepreneurs systemize, organize, and scale their businesses using Google Workspace. And we've been working with Workspace for over 10 years. We're the top partner in Australia for small business, and we work with customers all over the world. And so if you're interested in learning more about Workspace, head along to our channel and check out. We've got plenty of videos on helping business owners with everything business and tech and the intersection between those two. But let's talk about our Workspace update. I used to have like this little PDF that would come out once every month from Google, and it was like a kind of summary of what all of the previous month's updates had been. But they do have this handy help page which says ways to track new releases with 6 different places. So what I'm going to try to do is gone through the latest updates for kind of the last month or so, and I've picked out some of the ones that I think are highlights, that I think are important to kind of know about or notable. And I'm going to be sharing those with you. So let's dive into it. Let's start looking at some of the actual latest updates and what has come through. So this is the first one we're going to cover. Your calendar status will now be available inside Google Chat. And Google Chat, if you're not already using it, is a pretty awesome tool. It basically runs our company, considering we have a distributed team. Google Chat is our way of keeping in touch and keeping connected. We chose not to use third-party tools like Slack, and I know some businesses will use things like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, which I think is completely nuts. But Google Chat basically runs our whole business, and we use that for everything. And one of the reasons why I like Google Chat is you have all these cool integrations with the rest of the Google world. And so what this latest update is that you can see here there's basically additional statuses being added to Google Chat. And so inside your Google Chat, you've got a status feature. You can choose whether you're available or whether you're away, or you can basically just leave it to auto. And when you leave it on auto, it's got some extra features here, like picking up when you are in a meeting based on your Google Calendar. So I prefer just leaving it on auto all the time because it means that it's just going to automatically let people know what I'm up to if I'm in a meeting. That is pretty cool. But you can see here, when you set your Google Calendar for different statuses, I'm going to zoom right in because those icons are really small. When you actually set your statuses on your calendar, can you see there's this one's in focus time and this one is out of office. And so what that means is it's actually going to pick up the additional calendar statuses and actually overlay them into your chat. Now, if you haven't used those before, they're pretty damn groovy. And so when you are in your calendar, let's say tomorrow I don't really have anything on, I'm out of the office. And so after my flying lesson in the morning, I can drag a big long calendar event there and I can choose out of office. That would be the most appropriate. And I can just hit save. And that's basically going to automatically decline any meetings for my team when I'm out of the office and not available for any meetings, which is pretty cool. But the other thing there is, let's say on a work day, maybe this afternoon, I want to put aside some focus time for some deep work. I'm going to go ahead and click onto focus time, and focus time is going to let me do that. There we go. So let me save that. And I'll go ahead. I will save the out of office tomorrow because I am going to be out of office. I'll probably be camping. It's Good Friday, going away for the weekend. So there we go. We've got that all saved there. So that makes it really easy for your team members to know what's going on, where you are at, particularly with remote teams, or let's say if you're out and about on the road and you have team members messaging you on chat, they're going to know exactly what you're up to, which makes things really convenient and really easy. So great feature. Big thumbs up. Thank you, Google. Love that one. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the next one. Now, I already covered this one in a reel. This is a way to actually create emails from Google Documents. Pretty damn cool, right? And so it's using something called, I can't remember what they call it, might be smart cards. But basically when you're in a Google document, what you can do is you can actually create a new email draft and use your Google document as a place to draft up that email, collaborate with other people on the email, and then actually send it with one click right from within the document, which is pretty groovy. So let's go and open up a new document because I want to demo this one. I haven't actually done it myself yet, I don't think. So just go to doc.new to open a new document if you haven't done that before. Cool. And to get started on it, we're just going to use the at button, and then, oh, there we go. It's via AI. Thank you very much. It's opened up email draft as a suggested option there. But otherwise, you would just type the word email and email draft will come up there. Here we go. So it's opened that up for me. And so, yeah, from here we can type who it's to. So maybe I want to type that to my CEO, Scott, send that over to him. I can CC anyone I need to. It should actually pull from my address book, which is a little bit odd that it didn't pull up Scott, but maybe let's type in Adrian as well. There we go. At least Adrian's in there. Great. Subject can be anything I like. And then I can go ahead and write my email message. Now, anyone who is on this Google document has the option to collaborate on this. One of my favorite features is to use suggested edits. And so let me just move my picture out of the way here. So on suggested edits, you can click through and create a suggested change. So let's say I want to just hit the backspace button and delete that. It's not going to delete it from the document, but it is going to open up a comment and basically suggest that that change is made. And then from there, people can, type their own comments and other bits and pieces as they need to, have a bit of a conversation about it, which is pretty handy. But what's wonderful about the suggested feature is, let's say if you're a manager or a leader and you have someone that you're coaching or working with or supporting as a leader, and you want to, give some suggested improvements to what they're doing. When you're working on a Google Doc and you go in there and make the changes for them, what that does is that actually reiterates the behavior that someone brings you issues and you solve them for them, right? Whereas suggested edits is like, hey, look, you've done great work there. Here's what I suggest you do differently, rather than you actually overriding the work that they've done. And rather than creating the loop that you come in and fix the problems and updates things. So I like this better using suggested edits. I often use that for my team. And it also gives your team the opportunity to really own the work, whether or not they want to accept the edit or not. That then empowers them that it is their choice. So I like that one. Okay, so this little spot here says when you've finished writing the email, you can easily convert it into a Gmail draft by clicking on this button. Got it. Cool. All right. So we just click that button, preview in Gmail. It's creating the draft and it's popping up here in the lower right hand corner. There we go. It's ready to go. And I can literally just go ahead and click the send button right from here, which I'm not going to go and do because my team will be very confused. It does happen from time to time. I jump on a live stream and do crazy stuff. And then, so that's covered Gmail. That's a really cool feature. I love that. Our next one is moving over to Google Meet. And Google Meet have actually added in some new management settings for administrators. So let's have a look at what we've got here. So basically these are a set of policies for Google Meet. And so when those team members are participating in meetings, you can basically switch on and off some of their features, like chat on and off, whether or not they can present, whether or not they can participate in Q&A. Now, if you're a small business owner, this is probably not that interesting or useful to you because if you've got less than 20 people in your company, why would you want to switch anything off for anyone? But if you've got more than 20 employees, maybe you've got 50, 100, a couple of hundred, you're in that more kind of mid-market or enterprise space, well, you're more likely to have different groups of users, and those different user profiles would very likely have different use cases for workspace within your organization. So for example, maybe you have like a town hall style meeting and you want to have a couple of hundred people joining that meeting, but you don't want anyone to be able to hit the present button and accidentally interrupt the presentation by overriding and presenting. Let's say, for example, maybe you've got a manufacturing business and you've got like a whole bunch of floor staff who really just need to kind of like tap into the meeting and ask questions, but not necessarily have like random chit chat filling up the chat. Then these are the kind of policies that you could use to restrict something like that. And so in the admin panel, you can see on the left-hand side here, you can set this up based on the organizational unit or OU in IT speak, and actually, configure what groups of staff you would like to have this set up. Now, like everything we do, we recommend that you kind of know and understand the high-level feature and understand what this may be used for as a use case, but we don't necessarily recommend that if you're a business owner yourself that you're getting in and fiddling with these kind of settings yourself. This is more appropriate for our team to do, our concierge team, or someone who is your dedicated IT professional who's helping you out with your Workspace account. So if you're interested in that, you can of course reach out to our team and we'd be very happy to help you review all of your policies right across your business, right across your Workspace account. And they can cover things like desktop computers and what happens on Google Chrome. They can cover if you've got any Chrome devices like a Chromebook or a Chromebox. I'm currently operating from my Chromebox. And they of course cover any mobile devices and any settings within the core Google Workspace apps themselves. So great options there for updating Google Meet. Good to see. Google are, bit by bit, they kind of release something and then typically enterprise and corporate customers will ask Google to implement more features around policy, around management, and then bit by bit Google does implement those, which is really good.